a century of conflict setting the stage. The Israeli-Palestinian conflict is one of the most enduring and complex conflicts in the world. It is rooted in territorial claims and national identity. Both sides lay claim to the same land with deep historical and religious significance. The conflict has been marked by wars, uprisings, and failed peace attempts. Each cycle of violence deepens mistrust and animosity, making a lasting solution even more elusive. The establishment of Israel in 1948 displaced hundreds of thousands of Palestinians, creating a refugee crisis that continues to this day. The Six-Day War in 1967 further altered the landscape, with Israel occupying the West Bank and Gaza Strip, areas claimed by Palestinians for a future state. The Oslo Accords in the 1990s offered a glimmer of hope. However, the peace process stalled and violence erupted again in the early 2000s. The situation remains tense with periodic flare-ups and no end in sight. The human immediate impacts of war. Another war between Israel and Palestine would be devastating. It would result in widespread death, injury, and displacement. Civilians on both sides would bear the brunt of the violence. Gaza, one of the most densely populated areas in the world, is particularly vulnerable. Its infrastructure is already fragile after years of conflict and blockade. A new war would overwhelm its limited resources and cause immense suffering. The impact would extend beyond immediate casualties. The destruction of homes, schools, and hospitals would have long-term consequences. It would disrupt access to essential services like healthcare and education. Trauma, both physical and psychological, would leave deep scars on individuals and communities. The cycle of violence would continue, fueling extremism and making reconciliation even more difficult. Ripples of instability, regional and global consequences. A war between Israel and Palestine would have far-reaching consequences, destabilizing the entire region. The conflict could spill over into neighboring countries, drawing in regional and global powers. The involvement of Iran, a staunch supporter of Hamas, could escalate the conflict. It could lead to a wider regional war with unpredictable consequences. The flow of oil, crucial to the global economy, could be disrupted, triggering economic instability. The conflict would also exacerbate religious and political tensions worldwide. It would fuel anti-Semitism and Islamophobia, further dividing communities. The already fragile global order would be tested, potentially leading to new conflicts and alliances. Diplomatic efforts to address other global challenges, such as climate change and pandemics, would be hampered. The focus on the Israeli-Palestinian conflict would consume valuable resources and political capital. Section 4. The World Watches, key players in the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. The United States, as Israel's closest ally, plays a critical role. It has provided significant military and economic aid to Israel. However, the US also maintains a complex relationship with the Palestinian Authority. The European Union is a major donor to the Palestinians. It supports a two-state solution and has been critical of Israeli settlement expansion in the West Bank. Russia has also been involved in the peace process. It seeks to maintain its influence in the region. Arab states, particularly Egypt and Jordan, which share borders with Israel and the Palestinian territories, have a vested interest in peace. They have played a role in mediating ceasefires and promoting dialogue. The United Nations has been involved since the conflict's early days. It provides humanitarian aid and peacekeeping forces. It also advocates for a just and lasting solution based on international law. Section 5. A call for peace, choosing diplomacy over destruction. The consequences of another war between Israel and Palestine are too dire to contemplate. The only path forward is through diplomacy and a commitment to peace. Both sides must engage in good faith negotiations. They must be willing to make difficult compromises to achieve a lasting solution. The international community must play an active role in supporting peace efforts. This includes providing economic assistance, promoting dialogue, and holding parties accountable for their actions. We must remember that behind the headlines and political rhetoric are real people. They are caught in the crossfire of a conflict not of their making. Their lives, hopes, and dreams are at stake. It is time to break the cycle of violence and choose a path of peace, justice and reconciliation. The future of both Israelis and Palestinians depends on it.